Okay, good evening, everybody. It's November 9th. It's at 6:17 p.m. My name is Dave McDonald. I'm the chairman of the Lunenburg Sewer Commission. In accordance to the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting of the Sewer Commission is being recorded. And I'll be able to be found on the Lunenburg Access YouTube channels right after the meeting. Following information is also provided to members and the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. To participate remotely from a computer, please use this link and join the public meeting on the web bar found on our webpage. As a primary matter, again, I'm Dave McDonald, chairman of the Sewer Commission. I will be doing a roll call to confirm that the members and persons on the agenda are present. Once I call your name, please just say I'm here. Mike Nault will not be with us tonight. Mike Devakis will be on board in a second. Brett Branson, I just lost him. He's going to be calling us back in. And John Reynolds.
Yes, here.
Okay. We also have Rob Oliver.
Yes.
Barb. And Jane Riley, I can see you, but you can't see us. Okay. Now we have to wait for a minute until Brett calls in or Mike gets on, so we have a quorum. And both are trying desperately to get on. And Bob, I'm going to, can you send Brett, or actually let's text Brett, do you have that number that we can call in at?
Was on that Heidi's link, the whole thing. If join Zoom, click the link, one tap mobile, dial by your location,
Yeah, I'm just gonna give him
find
the number.
find your local number. Oh,
Hey Brett, can you hear me?
Rock and roll.
All right, so you're present. Okay, so we have a quorum. What I'd like to do is bring the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. John, we'll let you start it off.
Did you say my name, Dave?
Yep,
I didn't.
yep.
I pledge allegiance
To the
to the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, John. Just so that people at home know what's going on, we have a problem with having Brett hook in, so he's on the phone with me, so you can hear what's going on. And Brett, if you have any questions, just say, I got a question.
I sure will.
Thank you. First thing is there any public comment from the public? Bob, seeing none. Any public comment from the board? John?
Nope.
Brett, do you have any public comment?
I do not, sir.
Okay, town announcements. I do have an announcement. I'd like to remind everybody that town meeting is going to be November 16th this week coming up, which we'll talk about in the manager's report. But it's very important that we all go to the town meeting and vote what's good for the town. And remember, you can control what happens in the town by showing up and voting at town meeting. Appointments, Barb, you have any?
nope, I just had one other thing, again, just to remind people, anyone with invoice amounts outstanding from the last fiscal year that ended June 30th, they will be put on the tax bills just very quickly, very soon with the assessor's office, so it's important that they get paid up. That's all.
Anybody have any questions to that? Seeing none, gonna move on. Current business, Barb, what do you got?
I do.
Oh, hold on one second. Go ahead, Brett. Brett, you have a question? Okay, guess not. Go ahead, Bob, current business.
First item on the agenda is the Elizabeth Street infiltration remediation work that we had done. I'm gonna turn it over to Rob to explain what happened.
So Green Mountain Pipeline was in town. They addressed the 600 odd feet of sewer main that was identified in a Weston Sampson report. filling joints with grout as chemical grout as needed. And there were several, I think 3 services that were also addressed, which needed more attention than the pipeline itself. So there was some chemical grout used in those services, hopefully addressing I&I in that area. The report back to me from the operators was that the main itself in the street was not that bad and didn't really need much attention, but the services did. So hopefully that will grab that section and what was being accounted for I&I in that area. So I'm still awaiting. I haven't gotten an invoice from them yet, so I'm waiting to see what the final tally is, but it should be just about what I was thinking, because it took the 2 days that they told me it would take. And still waiting to see if they have a report on how much grout they ended up applying, and we'll be able to know more then. So that's that. Any questions on that?
Sorry,
Anybody?
I just got in. I was running late, but are you talking about Mass Ave?
No, talking about the I&I work we did on Elizabeth Street.
Okay. All right.
The repair they did, you talked about the amount of grout. Does that sort of determine how much I&I there was from this, or how?
It'll just give a bit of an indicator of how bad, and basically how much product they used will kind of tell me how bad they were at the services. They did say not a lot of grout was used on the pipeline. It's on the main itself. It's
Right,
a PVC main. It was questioned of me, why are we inspecting and trying to hit the joints on the main because it's plastic. I said it was identified in the report, so I'm just following up on the report. So kind of as I think we saw, it didn't really need much attention. It was the services on that, the older services that required more. So if it was a ton of grout, we'll know they applied a ton to those joints, or whatever was going on. But it was a pretty cool process, and the equipment was pretty high tech, so it was kind of interesting to see.
Okay. Just so you all know, we have Mike now back online. Mike, you are muted, but thank you for joining us tonight. Mike, we have Brett on the phone. He's having some technical difficulties where he is.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Brett, how's it going?
Good. Okay, Upland Eastern Ave.
Okay, so I put together a kind of informal RFP for a preliminary design and preliminary cost estimating for all those streets: Upland, Eastern, White Street, and Maple Parkway. I've reached out to 4 different firms, 3 of which the commission has worked with before: Weston and Sampson, Wright Pierce, and Woodard and Curran. There's another consultant I've used in the past, Tate and Howard. They're based in Marlboro, a little bit of a smaller firm, but still a decent sized firm. So I reached out to them as well. I've got 3 proposals back, ranging in price from Wright Pierce at $13,200 to, let's see, Tate and Howard was $19,800. And Weston and Sampson, quite a bit higher at $42,000. I'm still just waiting on Woodard and Curran to get me a price. I don't anticipate they'll be lower than Wright Pierce. And I think when I've got the last proposal in, I will forward them all to you, so you can all have a look. But I think you'll see that Wright Pierce is really making a push to work with the commission. They basically touched upon their history with the commission, the work they've done in the past. So not really having a preference myself for any of the 4 firms. They're all good firms. I think Wright Pierce, obviously being the low cost, low proposal, and obviously with their history with the commission, the work they've done in the past, they're a good fit to do the work moving forward. So I'd likely end up asking to go ahead with them once I have my final proposal. But that's where we stand. So those proposals they've all included some soil exploration for ledge. I believe they all have 2 days worth of soil probes to do anywhere, I think in the range of 20 soil probes. in all those roads, not just Eastern and Upland. So I think in the end, when we move forward and we get this preliminary kind of work done, we'll have a really good idea of costs, because it's a straightforward project. It's just all gravity sewers. The biggest factor here is the ledge. So if we have a fairly good ledge profile moving forward, that'll really help in the estimating. So I'll be happy to get the last one in and get them moving on, get someone moving on it.
When you sent this out for solicitation, was it an RFP or a non-formal RFP?
It was an informal one. I came up with a scope and a description of what I wanted. I talked to, I believe, all four after I sent it to them, and basically said, I'm looking at all things cost and, proposal in terms of the quality of the proposal, and basically told them that, if you've done this and done this differently, let me know, and I'm open to suggestions, but this is, generally the scope I'm looking for. And pretty much the three that I have at the moment, their scope is almost identical. So I was a little surprised with Weston and Sampson, although Barb and I talked about it a little bit, and perhaps based on past history, it was a polite no thank you by overpricing themselves and putting themselves outside of, a normal price. So I was a little surprised at that, but that's fine.
If you could you send a copy of what you sent to the engineers to Barbara, and Barbara, could you send them to the commission so the members have an idea of what we are looking for? And I have a pretty good idea what Rob's looking for, but I want to make sure all the commissioners know what we're doing here, because it's a lot of the time it's the first one for them.
Sure.
So just for information only.
Yeah, I'll share what I sent out, and I'll share the proposals that have come in.
And this is kind of a big deal, and if you guys have any questions on it, just feel free to call Rob directly. But knowledge is good, and this is a good learning experience, because most likely next year we will get into this one form or another. So the more we have an understanding of the project, the better it'll be for all of us. Okay. Rob, anything else?
No, that's it on that.
Any questions for Rob on this? John?
Nope.
Mike?
Nope.
Brett, can you hear us? Brett, I know you're there, I can hear you. Okay. Brett says no. Okay, the Fitchburg Sewer Ordinance, Barb.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten what I need back from council, but I also just heard that the engineer, or the associate or acting deputy commissioner that I've been working with, Jeff Moraski from Fitchburg, has since left Fitchburg. So I'll be working with Tony Maressa after this point on the thing. So that's a change, because I've only worked with Jeff on it so far. But I am hopefully meeting with council within the next couple of weeks, and we'll press him for the complete review of what he had sent us, the what Jeff Moraski had sent out.
If you want to, why don't you invite the new guy from Fitchburg to come to Lunenburg, sit down and have coffee with him? It's up to you.
Sit down and have coffee with,
The guy from Fitchburg.
right, with Rob and I, you mean?
It's just an idea. I mean, it's always good. I got to get Brett here. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry about. It's up to you guys, but I mean, if it's a new guy in Fitchburg, there's nothing wrong with opening the door for us and open the door for him.
Yep.
Because we got to do that with Leominster too. I mean, that's something that, no more talk, the first quarter of next year, we have to put in an agenda. I would really like to sit down with the guys in Leominster and introduce ourselves and see what we can do with them on some, because there's a lot of money being thrown around now. Rob, you know what's happening, I guess, right, with the rescue plan?
Yeah, there's, I believe the state, we're waiting on the federal government. I think some decisions have been made, but I still don't have any clarity on, how much we'll have or where it's coming from. So still waiting to hear more.
Well, it's a lot, so we should get a nice little piece. I don't know what Massachusetts is getting. $1.3 trillion goes pretty fast when you divide it with everything going on, so.
Mhm.
But Lemus is gonna grab some of that money as well, so maybe together we can finally do some kind of grant for the whale and get that under control or started anyways, or a plan. But anybody want to talk about the American Rescue Plan, Rob, or was that it?
I'm still in a waiting pattern on what we're getting and how we're gonna, it's gonna get doled out amongst the, the town agencies, DPW, the water district, sewer. There's broadband is in there, so I don't know where that's gonna play out. So yeah, so I'm still waiting.
I did get something back from Heather when I asked, if I may.
Absolutely.
A decision on ARPA funding has not been decided, as we're in wait and see what the federal and state government will be doing about funding. Federal government's debating an infrastructure bill that would impact both state and local funding for infrastructure. So the state is waiting to see what happens at the federal level. So she is waiting on the state to hear. So that's where the town is at right now.
I understand. I think we're all waiting, but at least it's been, what has been signed, is gonna be signed this weekend. But when that's signed, that's actually a good thing for the country, rebuilding the roads and the bridges and stuff, so that's a good one.
She also added, just if we have infrastructure needs, she would like us to submit those projects. Brief description and the funding needed to implement them, so.
Okay, well, like I said, I think that's something that the commission will have to talk about. You may want to put that on an agenda for December. I don't know how, this money could be released tomorrow. When I say tomorrow, once the bill is signed by the president, it goes pretty fast. So, we should start talking about this as soon as we can, even if it's a wish list and a priority of what should be done. May not happen, but at least we have an idea and try to fill what Heather's asking for. But that's why it's important for us to sit down with our counterparts in Fitchburg and Leominster, because maybe we can do some joint ventures with them on some projects if we can't get grants. It doesn't hurt to try,
Yep.
Okay, any other questions on that, John?
No questions.
Mike? Brett, you there? I think I lost you again. Okay, minutes for 10:12. I'm going to give this one to John. I was not in attendance at that meeting.
Well, have enough members read the minutes in order to, for someone to propose a motion?
I propose a motion.
Okay,
We don't have a quorum for that one. I don't know.
No, we do. I'm here, Dave.
okay. So do I hear a motion to accept the minutes from the 10-12 meeting?
I think Mike.
Oh, it's like Mike, you
Yes.
did right. Brett, can you second that?
Ooh. Wait a minute. Brett, did I lose you? Brett, did I lose you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were on TV.
Right when,
Okay, sorry about that. That was my fault. Did you want to approve the minutes?
yes.
Okay.
You want to second the motion?
Oh, are we,
They're voting now, so John
I'll
vote.
say aye.
Aye, okay.
Okay. Mike,
Aye.
aye for myself. So the minutes are accepted.
Guys, I want to thank you for doing it. You guys did a great job on that last meeting, and thanks to Mike for working his way through it. Business manager report, Barb.
Yep, the grease traps, I just wanted to advise that we've got a new food service establishment, the Lunenburg Diner. They have been sent the packet of information that we send out to new restaurants, and I am awaiting a response. I sent it out around the 1st, and I think I asked for it by the 15th, so we should have it. I don't have a report on my first Tuesday reports. I need to look back, but everyone has been very prompt. I haven't had any issues at all. So I assume that's all good.
Barb, if I remember, they have both internal and external traps.
Yes, they do. The Whalum Kitchen had been the one prior that had been monitoring the external. When we did pull up the information, Whalum Kitchen was overdue for their pump out. So I've let them, the Lunenburg Diner people, know that an external pump out should be done ASAP, or they have to show, or their landlord, who is also copied on every letter, can show that the pump out did occur, and I just did not get a report.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. I don't have an update for the year-to-date budget. I have processed just a few more invoices. So I'm just trying to focus on billing. So I will have an updated one next meeting. But we're still doing as well as planned for the budget. And I have one invoice for your review, which is the Fitchburg monthly invoice for 1930.75. One of the higher ones that we've had, and I'm happy to report that Jane had done the flow meters for the next go around, and it went down to, I think, 15. So I do have an invoice for 1930.75. If that's all right with you, I will process that.
you want to vote on that?
Nope, just as long as no one takes any issue, and I can send a copy if you need it. But it's basically, it's the numbers we sent them, so I don't
John,
have.
do you have any issues?
Sorry?
John, you have no issues?
No, sorry.
Mike, no issues?
Nope.
Let it go, Bob.
Okay, good. And just, we've got all the conflict of interest exams and certificates in to the clerk's office. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And that's all I had.
You all know you got to take that test again in November, right?
Okay.
Won't they postpone it for the next COVID variant?
That worked out good. Okay, action items. I have one, Bob, and that is the update, if there's any updates on the chapter 40B for Lunenburg, or is that still on the side? Anybody
I have
hear
not.
anything?
I can check on it. I have not heard anything. Rob, have you heard any more on the pond?
No, we had
Pond
a department head meeting last week, and town manager basically said there's been no updates. So a little surprising, but nothing new, no new developments there.
Any other action items, Bob?
I do not, just billing.
Rob, you
And
have
then
any?
we'll be working on the transfer to delinquents, all the people that had the overdue invoices from the last fiscal year will have their balances put on their tax bills. So that's my next focus as soon as the bills are out.
Rob, you have anything else for action items?
Nope, I've got nothing.
Okay. Public comment, any public comment from the public? Seeing none. Public comment from the board. John,
No.
Rob, Mike?
Nope.
The only public comment I have is I'd like to remind everybody about the pancake breakfast tomorrow for the Lions Club. Will be held at the Senior Center from 8 to 10 tomorrow. So if you're around, please stop by. Our next meeting is not going to be until November 30th. So on behalf of the Sewer Commission and the town of Lunenburg, we all like to wish everybody at home a very safe and happy Thanksgiving. It's been a great year. It's been a tough year. And I give thanks to each and every one of you guys, not only on the board, but all the people who work for the town. It's been a tough year, and the Sewer Commission, I'm very proud of each and every one of you. We came through, we did an amazing job with what we have. And Rob, I know you came in halfway through, and I appreciate what you've done for not only for the town, but for us as well. Saying that, our upcoming schedule, again, on the 16th of November, please try to come to the special town meeting. It's going to be at 7 o'clock at the Lunenburg Middle School Auditorium. I got that right, Barb, just so you know. Our next scheduled meeting will be at November 30th at 6 p.m. at the town hall. We'll be there live, hopefully. And the one after that, believe it or not, will be December 9th at remote on Zoom. So with that, if anyone has any other comments before we close out, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
A motion?
And second,
I second.
no discussion, anybody? No, roll call vote. Mike,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
And I for myself, Rob, Jane, Bob, if we don't talk to you, please guys have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your families. You all deserve it. Thank you very much. Lunenburg.
Same
good
to
night.
you.
Thank you, guys.
And you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.